Good morning, Northridge Kindergarten. Miss Gutierrez here with another math lesson. This week, our math lesson is called Chicken Coop, and in this lesson, we will focus on addition and subtraction within the number 10. Today's learning target, boys and girls, is I can solve addition and subtraction stories with partners up to the number 10. For today's lesson, friends, you will need 10 counters. It can be anything you have around your house. It can be pennies, pieces of dry cereal, jelly beans, maybe some buttons, anything you would like to use. Just make sure you have 10. Now, before we get started, friends, what I would like you to do is please press pause right here so you have a chance to gather your materials. And then when you're ready, please unpause and let's begin. Today, I'm going to continue to model how to solve addition and subtraction number stories on a number path for you, friends. Even though I'm going to be showing you the number path, I want you to work at home with your counters like you have been doing all along and the other day. For our first problem today, friends, there were 5 chickens in the chicken coop. Samantha put 5 more in the coop. How many chickens are in the coop now? Well, first we have to go back to our problem, friends, and we have to think, how many chickens did we start with? Let's look at our first sentence. It says 5 chickens in the chicken coop. So I want you to put down 5 counters to start off with. And while you're doing that, I'm going to circle numbers 1 through 5 on my number path to represent 5 chickens. Okay, I'm going to give you a second to put your 5 counters down. Go ahead. Okay, now we need to figure out what the problem says next. It says Samantha put 5 more in the coop. So that means you are going to put 5 more counters down. Let's do this together. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good job, friends. Now I'm going to circle 5 more numbers on my number path. Now, the question is, how many chickens were in the coop now? So how many altogether? So I want you to count up your counters. I'll give you a second. Good job, boys and girls. You should have counted 10 counters. Now let's look at my number path. What's the last number circled? 10. Good job. So we are both right. There were 10 chickens in the coop. For our second problem today, friends, there were 8 chickens in the chicken coop. Samantha took 4 out to give them a bath. How many chickens were left in the coop? Well, boys and girls, let's go back to our problem and look. It says there were 8 chickens in the chicken coop. So I want you to turn and tell someone you're with, how many counters do you think we have to put down to start off with? 8. Nice work. So while you put down your 8 counters, I'm going to circle numbers 1 through 8 on the number path. I will give you a few seconds to put your counters down. Good job. Now it says Samantha took 4 out to give them a bath. So I'm going to give you a second to think and tell someone you're with. It says took 4 out. Does that mean we're going to add or subtract if she took them out? You should have told someone subtract because took out is the same as take away. So we need to take 4 away. So let's take 1 counter away. While you take it away, I'm going to cross out the number 8. Okay, now pull the second one to the right, and I'm going to cross out the number 7. Pull a third one to the right. And I'm going to cross out the number 6. Now pull a fourth one to the right. And I'm going to cross out the number 5. Nice work, friends. So now our question to answer is how many chickens were left in the coop. So I want you to count how many counters you now have left. You should have said the number 4, just like I only have 4 numbers left on my number path. Nice work, friends. So there were 4 chickens left in the coop. Let's try one more together, friends, before it is your turn. There were 6 chickens in the chicken coop. Samantha put 3 more in the coop. How many chickens are in the coop now, boys and girls? Well, let's go back on our problem and see how many should we start with. How many chickens were in that coop? How many counters? Turn and talk and tell someone you're with. 6, that's right. So I'm going to circle numbers 1 through 6 on my number path, and I'm going to give you a second to put down 6 counters right in front of you. You may start now, boys and girls. Nice work. You now should have 6 counters in front of you. Now, let's go back to our problem together. Samantha put 3 more in the coop. So that means we need to add 3 more counters, boys and girls. Let's do it together. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And now I'm going to circle the next 3 numbers on my number path. Now, boys and girls, I'm going to give you another second. I want you to go ahead and count up all those counters in front of you so you can tell me how many chickens are in that coop. You should have counted the number what? 9. Good job. Give yourself a pat on the back if you counted 9 counters. And let's look at my number path. The last number I circled was also the number 9. So we are correct. There were 9 chickens in the chicken coop now. Now it is your turn. Let's see what you can do. There were 6 chickens in the chicken coop. Samantha took 3 out to give them a bath. How many chickens were left in the coop? Well, friends, what we need to do first is figure out how many counters we are going to start with. So let's go look at your problem. It says there were 6 chickens in the chicken coop. So I want you to put down how many counters you think we need based on that sentence. I will give you a second. You should have put down 6 counters. If you did, give yourself a nice pat on the back. Good job. And now I'm going to circle numbers 1 through 6 to represent those 6 counters, friends, and to represent 6 chickens. Now, it says Samantha took 3 out to give them a bath. So I want you to think. Remember, we said took out is the same as take away. So for this problem, it will be what, boys and girls? Subtraction. Awesome job. So next, we're going to need to take 3 away. Now, while you take 3 away, remember, I'm going to cross them out. So take 1 away, and I'm going to cross out 6. Take your next away, and I'm crossing out 5. Now take your last one away, and I am crossing out the number 4. So now, friends, the next step is going to be for you to count how many counters do you have left. I want you to take a second and count those counters. You should have counted 3 counters. If you counted 3 counters, friends, I want you to give yourself a nice pat on the back again. You did it. You're doing so great. There were 3 chickens left in that coop. And if we look at my number path, we also can see that I have 3 numbers left. For your independent work today, friends, what you'll be doing is you'll be going on Seesaw and independently, which means by yourself, completing the worksheet titled Chicken Coop. We can't wait to see what great work you do. And don't forget, after you show us with your picture, like the direction says, you will then prove your answer on the number path. Good luck!